welcome to the Champ Is Here podcast. I am Kevin Cartier alongside my compatriots this week.
Adam Dunnels.
The champion, Arthur Sinclair.
Stevie Boy Smith.
Kaliko McGee.
First of all, congrats. All hail the new champion, Arthur Sinclair, who acquired the championship this past weekend in interesting fashion. So hopefully at the end of the show we'll have time. You can maybe share the story if everyone else wants to hear.
I don't even know the story.
Me neither.
Or may it forever stay shrouded in mystery, because I guess I'm the only one that
It's all
knows
rumor
the
and innuendo at this
Well, at
point.
this point, right? Well, I'll tell you like this: there was a polar bear involved. But okay, anyway, so we're gonna cover, of course, Raw, SmackDown, all the happenings and going ons of the WWE, and of course, this is the go home week to Extreme Rules this weekend coming up. So check out the live stream we're gonna be doing.
Sunday after the show.
Extreme Rules, man. So we're gonna get, before we get into all that though, Raw and Extreme Rules, the red brand and everything, we're gonna touch on some news, okay? Some happenings and going ons in the WWE universe. So the first one I thought was kind of interesting this week. The current WWE champion, the Maharaja, Jinder Mahal, claims very adamantly that he has been tested multiple times and he has never failed a drug test for WWE. And had any wellness policy violations, despite his physique change in this second or third run, I guess whatever this is with the company, this main event run he's had with the company. Any thoughts, reactions? Mr. Sinclair, the champ, will start with you.
I'm glad that he has came out and denied it. I mean, no one ever wants to just let something.
Is it going to quiet the rumors, though, do you think?
No, it's not going to quiet the rumors.
Because there's been a lot of whispering.
But I think
I don't
that's...
think so.
If he,
I don't think so either.
I mean, I think you've even accused them.
Well, I've looked like it. Go ahead.
Well, if he's clean, if he's clean, isn't worried about. So I mean, he's
exactly
just, everything that he's doing is working because he's getting people talking about it, saying that he is performance enhancing himself when he's not. So I mean, he's obviously doing something really well if he is clean.
Well, one of the most vocal guys who came out and made these claims
don't you say
another guy that while he was in the WWE had these exact same rumors surrounding him. So, did Ryback ever fail a wellness test? I'm not sure. But he's one of the most vocal people claiming, and, the question is for Ryback is, did he ever juice? Because I think he kind of did.
Well, this
but what I'm saying is,
one guy did that, and the other guy.
I would like to think the best, and that he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, and not juicing or taking illegal substances for that is not included in the wellness policy.
Yeah, I'm with that. I really hope that I'll be something.
Well, what about McGee or Adam? Any thoughts about the current WWE champion?
We'll have to see.
Is it a shame that he has to come out and defend himself like this?
No,
or is it necessary?
I think it's necessary
because he could have just chosen to ignore this.
Yeah, and then it would just make it even worse because they're like, oh, so you're not answering it, so it
must be true.
Exactly,
something must be there.
But at the same time, if they're calling him out like that, what's he supposed to say?
Yeah,
is he supposed to say, "Oh yeah,
Ryan Braun has a guy, man, got fired." To be fair, saying that he was
for someone to take away his hard work that he has put in the gym.
That's what I'm saying.
It's unfair. It's unfair for him to sit back and take it whenever he has put in the work and done the work. So he needs to say, "No, I did this myself. I had no help."
Well, okay, cool. Well,
that's really what it comes down to.
So, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Well, I was just gonna say. So, moving on. We have to move on, unfortunately, due to time. But so yeah, Jinder Mahal, keep doing your thing.
I keep doing it, though.
The next thing I wanted to bring up and see what you guys I thought was interesting is apparently Austin Aries wrote a book called Food Fight.
Yes, I'm excited about it.
And it's about his journey with health and fitness and also becoming a vegan while being a sports entertainer / pro wrestler and maintaining that lifestyle. So, since you're a fan, it seems like, what do you think of the idea? Are you going to go out and get a Food Fight by Mr. Aries?
I probably will at some point, not immediately, but I would like to read it because, for one,
you can definitely tell by
veganism is very interesting to me, and it's really interesting. It's very difficult, and the life of a professional wrestler is very difficult. So to become a vegan and be a professional wrestler at the same time is really tough.
Well, let's do it like this then. Let's do it like this. 2 questions real quick. We'll go around the room and we'll see. We'll go around the horn, if you will. First question is, are you interested in the book, in Mr. Aries' book, about being a vegan and being a pro wrestler, Mr. Sinclair?
No.
Wow, that's a stark no. What about you, Adam?
Absolutely, yeah.
So you would
You
check it
guys
out?
probably don't know that, but I'm a big reader as well.
So you
I-
really you read books? I never would have guessed from a mile away. But so would you check this one out?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Are you just saying, or are you just?
No. When I saw him mention it on 205 Live,
Yeah.
I pulled up the website and I was like,
When you
oh,
get
let me
done,
check this out.
We need a review. We need an Adam Jones review of Food Fight and being a vegan. What about you? Are you interested?
Oh, you meat eater.
What about you?
Yes, very interesting.
Second question on this subject. Could you be a vegan? What about you right here?
No, but I'm interested to read how hard it is.
What about you? Ever thought about being
No.
a vegan?
Too hard.
No, never.
He didn't even entertain the idea.
I'm not either.
I have.
So, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I thought about it and tried it, and I've seen how hard it is. So to read about it, as
a pro wrestler,
in the
too.
eyes of a professional
Professional,
athlete,
right?
yes, exactly. You know, we've heard like CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, they all tried to go that vegan route, and they said it was a little tough
Down here,
because of the
nothing but
travel.
Subway, nothing but Subway, McDonald's, and Waffle House.
Everything's fried, yeah.
Right.
So
Fried and protein.
I'm too much of a fat kid.
I'm interested in the book. Good for you, Austin Aries.
So
you know,
yeah,
keep
okay.
doing it.
Oh yeah, okay, cool. Well, the next thing I wanted to bring up, and well, this is probably just a little footnote kind of thing. I know it's kind of probably the nerdy wrestling fan in me, but this was apparently they had Eric Bischoff,
Oh,
Jim
Oh,
Cornette,
yeah.
and P.S. Michael Hayes on Table for Three, and apparently this is the first time that Cornette and Bischoff have ever been face to face. So,
I didn't know that much.
did anyone watch this?
I did.
Besides me,
I haven't.
I did not.
I did.
I saw it
had
up
somebody-
on the network.
I was going to.
I kind of am saving it for later when I have a good chance to really sit down and try to analyze how they talk to each other because I'm interested in it.
It
you know?
did. It in the little previews, it did look like they were getting.
I mean, what'd you think?
It was good.
That's all you're gonna say.
But is that-
I mean, if I've been watching, I mean, I really don't.
Okay,
mean,
yeah, we'll do it like this then. We'll do it like this. We'll go around the room, we'll go around the horn. Cornette represents, in the era that they went
Wrestling.
against each other, Cornette was more WWE, WWF guy, and
Yeah.
Bischoff was more of a WCW guy. So in that era, the early to mid to late 90s, which one did you prefer? Mr. Sinclair?
Who?
When I was a kid, I preferred Cornette and the WWF. But now that I'm older, I went back and watched. I'm a Nitro fan. Nitro is where it's at.
Yeah, growing up, we never really watched WWF, honestly, in my house. So
Wow.
it was all WCW where I lived. So that's all I knew.
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll go over here.
I like JC a lot, and
JC who?
Jim Cornette.
It took
Oh,
me a second.
pronouns,
Specify.
pal.
Not
Yeah,
Jesus
it is.
Christ, not Jesus Christ. Jim Cornette, but I lean towards Eric Bischoff more now. Even though I feel like my brain has been completely oversaturated by WWE's constant throwing Eric Bischoff in your face and every other wrestling podcast talking about Eric Bischoff 24/7. So I'm a little tired of that.
So Raw or WWE?
But,
WWE or WCW?
Oh, WWE.
Okay, and what about you?
Depending on the time period.
The
I'm-
90s.
Bro, what?
What?
That was the question.
What?
I'm not.
Go ahead, though. I'm sorry, Mr.
I
McGee.
was off and on as a child watching.
I
But
can't say
I
just
remember
one.
watching Nitro, so I have to say
Per night.
Bischoff.
It's a per night thing, right? Every episode. I'm sorry, Mr. Bischoff?
And yeah, as a kid, I remember
Okay.
watching Nitro.
Okay, yeah. Well,
Well-
I was a channel flipper as a child.
Yeah,
so-
well, if
yeah.
you've watched
So,
both,
something I
there are
thought-
parts that Nitro is better in some
So he's
areas.
going by segment. Not just by show, it's by segment per show.
Well,
the
if you-
third segment of episode 316.
if you've really watched them all, you know, you,
And that's the bottom
you can
line.
tell.
But okay, we gotta move on. I'm sorry, we gotta move on, Stevie boy. I just a little quick.
I can't be
anecdote.
bipartisan.
Just a quick anecdote I thought was kind of funny. I read the story, and if I'm recalling this correctly, the story of Braun Strowman's Superman tattoo he has. Apparently, it was his first tattoo he got, and it was just like a random tattoo he got. And then now, luckily, he said he's added to it and he's made it his own.
That's interesting.
But yeah,
I
it was
always
just-
wondered where he got that from.
Just his first tattoo.
Mhm.
Big country boy getting
Yeah.
his first tattoo. Thought that was kind of interesting. And yeah, so the last thing I wanted to ask you guys, since we're running out of time, this is going to be just real quick yes or no. We're going to go around the horn, all right? I'm going to start this way. We're going to go around this way. Brie Bella said she just had her baby recently and she's feeling good. She's feeling better. And she's
Birdie
already
Joe.
training with the Birdie Joe. Shouts out, right? And the happy parents. But she said she's already thinking about the idea of a comeback. So I'm going to go around the horn real quick. What do y'all think about the idea of a Brie Bella comeback? You can answer it however you want to. You can either answer it, do you want to see her back, or do you think she'd be able to come back and fit in with the current roster? And if she does come back, which roster does she go to?
I don't want to see her come back. I don't think.
Stay at home mom?
Yes, stay at home, raise your child.
Or
You
do
did your
prefer
time.
Nikki?
Neither one of them.
Neither,
You know, I
okay.
prefer neither one of them needs to come back.
Neither,
in my opinion.
no.
Neither. Wow. Strong.
Same, but I feel like she could come back as some sort of like coach.
Personality.
Because she wasn't bad on the mic, so if she could help people with promos or something, I don't know. She doesn't need to stay home completely.
Champ? Let's wrap it up. Take us home.
Yeah, I prefer. I'm cool with her staying home just because I did a lot of searching with her, like on the internet and stuff like that, and she just really wants to be a mother. And I think training will be good. The training will be good, but I think motherhood is like what she's like down for.
All right, well, cool. Well, there we go. That was our new segment. Stick around next segment. We're going to try something new for the Red Brand for Raw. And it is also the go home week for WWE Extreme Rules. So stick around. Next segment, we're going to get into all that at Champ is Here Show.
At Champions Series Show.
At Champ is Here Show.
The strongest brand in the land.
Hi, I'm Kevin Cartier.
And I'm Stevie Boy Smith.
And thanks for watching the Champ is Here podcast.
Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Champ is Here Show and subscribe to our YouTube page at Champ is Here Show.
At Champ is Here Show. At Champ is Here Show. And we're back to the Champ is Here Show. And now we're going to do our quick question segment of the day. Just real rapid fire. We're going to go around the room. One question, hopefully 5 different responses. And this week's quick question of the day is, I think it's rather timely since we're going into WWE Extreme Rules this weekend. Which is the match that you are looking forward to most and why? I'm going to start with you, Adam.
Match I'm most looking forward to after watching 205 Live. I think they did a really good job building up Neville versus Austin Aries. So that's actually going to be the match I'm most looking forward to.
The submission
At Extreme
match.
Rules, the submission match.
Yes,
for the
that's
Cruiserweight
going to be a
Championship.
good match.
Okay. So, well, what do you think over here then? We'll go over here to you then, Stevie Boy.
I'm going to go with the Hardy Boys and versus Sheamus and Cesaro in a steel cage.
Okay. Why is that?
Because it's the most extreme. Also, I just want to see, like, we all saw what happened in the last pay-per-view with the Hardys versus Sheamus and Cesaro. Can the Hardy Boys, like, pay him back a little bit? You know, what's going to happen? Is Sheamus going to not get his tooth knocked out? I don't know.
The tooth of
Anyways,
destiny.
the rumor is, they're going to get broken in the steel cage, so we'll see if they actually
Oh, really?
use that
I
gimmick.
didn't hear that.
Is Sheamus and Cesaro going to break them in the steel cage, and they're finally going to be broken?
I will break. I will crash.
So we'll
Chicago
see.
style,
I'm
right?
kind of intrigued because they keep teasing us with that, but that's
I mean, if you put
that's
him
the
in-
match.
The
Yeah.
guy can only get put in the face so many times, right?
Yeah.
Well, we'll go over with you, Mr. McGee. What's the match you're looking forward to this weekend?
I would have to say, I say the Fatal 5-Way only because I want to see who comes out and goes against Lesnar.
Because I think it
Who
could
is
be
your
any one of
pick?
the 5.
I pick
We'll get that.
Samoa Joe.
Okay, we'll get there.
to that.
All right.
We'll get to that. That's next. www.com. Go ahead, Mr. Champ, Mr. Sinclair.
I guess I'll have to. I'll go with The Miz and Dean Ambrose.
Oh, all right,
Just,
all right.
I want to see how the disqualification rule affecting.
Come into play.
Yeah, I want to
Because
see.
it has to, right? Because they made it a thing. So do you think it does?
I think it has to. They
or could
they
be
made
big smoke screen.
How do you think Ambrose is going to counter Maurice? Because we all know Maurice is going to get involved. So how is Ambrose going to counter the dirty,
If she doesn't
no
just-
disqualification type deal?
If the bell doesn't ring and she doesn't just walk in and slap the Miz, like that's
That's kinda what I'm
that's the
expecting.
smart way.
That's kind of what I'm expecting. Is Maurice to slap the Miz or something to that effect?
Like that would be the best way to book that match. In my
I mean,
opinion.
I don't know if it's going to be right after the bell rings necessarily, or it might have to be a little competitive match or something. I don't know. Maybe.
Why even bother though if you're the Miz, right? Why even
Well,
bother having a competitive
it
match?
could, I mean, he could be finna get pinned or something, and she comes in.
Fair enough. Okay, yeah, fair
she
enough,
hits
fair
him.
enough.
I don't know.
I think it's going to be predetermined. Like they're going to already have it planned out, but it could also be in the heat of the moment like that too. But either way, that's what I think ends up happening. But my match of the night I'm looking forward to is also the submission match, just because these guys have already wrestled a few times now. They've had a few chances.
They
to
know
kinda-
each other.
Yeah, exactly. They've had they've
Their
been
series
building
has
chemistry.
only gotten better.
Potentially
And
match of the night.
And now there's an interesting gimmick because it's a submission match, but it can be way more than that. Like they can use weapons and stuff. Like it's not implied in the name, like in Extreme Rules matches and stuff, but it definitely has that possibility there. So yeah, that's the match I'm looking forward to most. But that was our pick this week for the question of the week and the match that we're looking forward to most this week for WWE Extreme Rules. You guys leave comments and let us know what matches you're looking forward to most this week for WWE Extreme Rules. And like, subscribe, comment, let us know. And if you have any ideas for future question of the weeks, just let us know. Who knows, we might use yours next week, right?
Right.
So, Champ is your show.
Champ is your show.
The strongest brand in the land.
The champ is here!
And we're back to the Champ is Here podcast, and we're going to talk about the Red Brand, the Red Brand Monday Night Raw. Extreme Rules is coming up this weekend, and we're going to try something new this week. What we're actually going to do is we have 5 different topics that we're going to talk about, and we're going to give each one a little bit more time so we can dive more in depth. So the first one I want to talk to you guys about is probably the biggest story in Raw right now. And you guys can approach it however you want to, but it's the WWE Universal title scene. So you have Brock Lesnar over here, who he's the champ, he's the god, he's the king, he's the one that's ruling the roost, he's the man, he who with the gold, right? And then over here you have his 5 contenders, his stable of possible, foes who are lining up, who are clashing for the chance just to fight him, just because Braun Strowman got injured, who was the original plan. So now they're scrambling to go ahead and find an alternative route. And I think the thing is, all 5 of these guys are legit competitors. I think you can make an argument for each one. So what I'd like to do is I want to go around the room and I want to get an opinion from each of you guys. And like I said, you can approach it however you want to. But what are your thoughts, Mr. Champ, of the WWE Universal title scene right now going into Extreme Rules this weekend?
Speaking from champ to champ, I would love to see the title back on Raw. I mean, I think that it's
actually
it's
up
really,
here.
I just lost this. This title has not found.
So you don't think Brock being a special appearance builds prestige? It doesn't build mystique. It doesn't build like a.
No, it doesn't reinforce any. The title being there every single week
after seeing Brock get beat by Goldberg twice in a row, and then seeing him again. Goldberg
ran through everybody.
Except that door, he almost didn't run through.
Yeah, he almost.
They can't. Well, to be fair, they can't put the belt on the door.
They pretty much have because he ain't been there. I'm
okay.
I'm interested to see who goes on the face because I think Brock's gonna squash over here.
I really hope not.
Okay, so we'll go ahead with over here then. What do you think then, Mr. McGee?
Samoa Joe. What?
I mean, I'm just your thoughts on the Universal title.
I mean, I think. I mean,
I thought you were about to say something.
Well, I agree with him. Like, it needs to change hands. They need to put it on somebody who's actually going to be there.
I mean, it doesn't change hands. I mean, if it's going to be there, just have.
But we all know Brock's not going to be a full time.
Why put a belt on somebody who's not
Yeah,
going to show if you're not going to see the belt?
Competitor, man, but
Because
at least respect the rules,
let
man.
me play devil's advocate to that. The reason why you put the championship on him is because he's the most physically intimidating. He has the biggest name.
But I kind of forgot about the Universal title.
And they probably think it's building
the only
mystique
one
to not have him around every week. You don't see it in your face all the time.
Yeah, but I've totally forgot. Like, I mean, not totally, but I've forgotten about the Universal
So what are your thoughts
title.
about this, Stevie? Are you on team it builds mystique, or on team you want to see it every week?
I want to see it every week, and I think it's kind
It's
of
a new title.
I think the title.
we need to see it.
I think the title is kind of a joke right now, all over the place, the
Why is
internet, because it's not seen. People,
because it's red.
no, it's because it hasn't been seen. It's not credible if it's not reinforced.
It's not defended.
It is reinforced every week because
Name
they
one
talk
great
about
champion.
it, but it
Name
is
one great
not.
champion.
It is not.
It's word of mouth.
It's
They're
not
they're
visible.
not doing anything
It's not
for it.
visible to show. Brock is not there. He's just going to show up to defend it, and it's like, oh, okay, another Brock Lesnar match. To be honest, I don't really care.
That's lost this whole thing.
Thank you. It would be, if he was not the champion and him showing up and smashing people, it would be cool. But because he's the champion, it gets a little stale, in my opinion.
So you rather see Brock in the special attraction mode without
Yes,
the belt?
and then him
So does everyone agree with that?
always be a viable
Yeah.
option to have the belt rather than hold the
Holding
belt.
the belt and not be there.
Yes.
Not
Because it
Okay,
doesn't.
well, what do you think then, Adam? Do you think it's building? Does it build mystique when he has the championship and he's not around as much, or do you think
Roman
you agree
Reigns?
with everyone else?
Yeah, I agree with everyone else. I don't think they're going to change anytime soon. I mean, if you believe the rumors,
yeah.
he's gonna hold the belt till WrestleMania. If you believe the rumors,
Wow.
so
Wow, that's
you guys didn't hear that?
I
No,
haven't seen
no,
that.
Yeah,
I am.
The plan is that he's gonna hold this belt till Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
Well, let's do
That's
this.
the plan.
Let's do this.
You're
then.
kidding.
Well, let's go around the room and we'll do this then because we still have a few more minutes. I want to ask everyone, who do you think is going to win the Fatal 5-Way match? And then we'll go from there. So don't jump ahead. Just tell me who do you have winning this week's match, okay? Stevie Boy, who's winning this weekend?
My
Puts you in
heart,
the spot.
my heart wants to say Seth Rollins.
Okay.
My head is going to go with Finn Balor.
Okay, what about you? What do you think?
Nakamura. No, I'm just kidding. Samoa Joe.
Okay.
I'm actually going to say the reverse of Stevie Boy. I'm going to say my heart wants Finn, but my head says Seth, actually.
I think Finn Balor wins.
So we have more than overwhelmingly more than Finn Balor
It's
than
just
anyone else.
the Brock
So-
Finn matchup is like it's hard for me to
Well,
visualize.
then let me get to this, and that's what we're getting to next. The guys that you guys picked, right? Your picks to win the future number one contenders, according to you guys. Do any of them have a chance against Brock Lesnar?
That's
Just
why-
the future number one contenders.
That's why I
so
picked
Finn Balor.
That's why I picked him. That's why I picked
So,
him.
so they're going to feed the first Universal Champion to the current Universal
Yes,
Champion.
they are.
Ooh.
What about you? Does Seth? You said Seth and Finn, right? Do any of them have a chance against Brock Lesnar?
I think Seth can take the loss and still be popular. He's one of the biggest baby faces on Raw. He can take the loss and not hurt too much.
What about you? Does your pick Samoa Joe have a chance against Brock Lesnar?
Yes, he does, but I want to see how it goes.
Okay. And what about you? We have to move on. Real
I don't
quick.
think he does. I think it's going to go the CM Punk John Cena type
So
route
either
against.
of them.
He
Either
gets
of them have a
he
chance.
gets smashed and
Who's he? Pronouns, pal.
Finn.
Pronouns,
Finn is going to
pal.
get smashed,
JC.
but he's going to get that respect of
JC.
getting
Bye.
of getting smashed, but
Right.
still being able to hold his head up high.
Okay.
Because he's going to have that type of
I'm looking forward to most Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
But we have to move on.
Oh, yeah.
So moving on. What are the other intriguing storylines that I have seen on Monday Night Raw? And we'll see what you guys think. Again, perspective. Has been the attacks we've seen with Enzo Amore being attacked backstage more than once now. He's been jumped and beaten up, and it's not just he gets beat up, but they rip his shirt and stuff. Like, it's like personal almost, right? Like, it's not just for beating you up; it's like personal. So we saw this week the Revival showed up for the first time in a few months. Apollo Crews has been accused, and he's denied doing it. And then you have Big Cass, and how does he figure into all this? So, Adam, what do you think is going on with Enzo Amore, and what is this leading to?
I mean, it's got to be Big Cass, right? I mean, it's Big Cass, right?
Am I
It can't be anyone
Why
else.
is it Big Cass?
Because it can't be anyone else.
Okay,
Like,
well, who's the two champ?
I think it's Big Ass. I mean, I think the handshake kind of did Corey Graves say about the handshake last week or something like that, or am I tripping? They say am I tripping? Am I reading? I think he came out of nowhere and was like, "I'm gonna shake your hand out of nowhere, bro."
Well,
Yeah,
Corey, when he came
Well, he
to the
confronted him
when he
about
came to
Corey
the
Graves,
announce
yeah.
table and gave Corey Graves
A
the
handshake.
and then he got a little
Well, he
in his
confronted him
space.
He confronted him at
yeah,
first,
okay.
like-
about implying that Cass was involved.
Yeah.
and Enzo
And
getting
then
jumped.
yeah,
But that
but-
solidified it for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't see that at all up until probably just this last Raw. I started kind of putting that together a little bit.
Just this past Raw. That's how soon it was, right?
Well, I
Or
was.
it any more recent than
I don't
that?
want to think it's Big Cass because I
not
like them
the
as a
guys
tag
holding
team. I don't think them breaking up is going to do either one of them good.
I agree with that.
um,
I think that's not
well,
a good-
yeah.
And
I don't think
I
that's
think
not
it.
a
I think it is Big Cass, but I don't think
They
it's a
decided
good
to have
move.
one with the belts. But
They don't need it. They're so popular.
that's why you need to give them one with the belts. But anyway, we'll
Thank
go
you.
ahead.
Thank you. They
You
need.
said that against Bray Wyatt, though.
We'll save that, sir. We'll save that. So
It's
real quick,
it's Big Cass.
Big Cass is doing it. Okay, I'm sorry. We got to move on, guys. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about, and again, we can have some speculation. We'll have a little fun with this one. We saw, it was really weird the way they shot it. I thought it was interesting because for a second I thought something really had happened.
Yeah.
Corey Graves was looking at his phone at the beginning of the show when they do their traditional greeting, welcoming kind of thing, the first shot of the announced team of the night. And he really was kind of no-selling what Michael Cole was saying, glued to his phone. And then all of a sudden he says, I got to go, and he gets up and he walks off. And it goes to commercial, if I'm not mistaken. And when it comes back, he's backstage talking to Kurt, saying this could be bad and just implying that whatever happened wasn't good for Kurt. But Corey was saying, I'm on your side. So, I don't want to put any ideas in anyone's head, but what do you think is going on, Stevie Boy Smith? What's going on with Corey, Kurt Angle, and who is this? Is this introducing someone new? Does this get Kurt back in the ring? What do you think is going on?
I don't know. Do you think it's just Stephanie because we haven't seen her yet? just being the evil boss that she is, and Corey Graves being the guy for Kurt Angle, letting him know, like, hey, there's something going on here. Or is it Corey Graves angling to do something,
If that was the case, is he like in a text message chain with Stephanie and a bunch of co-conspirators and he's snitching on
email comments, conversations, some passing sort of statements that they have heard.
I think a wrestler.
You think?
Coming.
a new wrestler? Okay, like, do you have an idea who?
Maybe Shelton.
Really?
Maybe. I hope.
So was Shelton coming for revenge then? Like, what does this mean?
I don't know, because again, it came out of nowhere for me. Like, I thought something was wrong.
I
thought something was really wrong when it first happened. So
did I. Yeah,
because everything, the way like you said, the way it came about. So I think I don't know what's going on with this. I'm hoping it's leading to somebody to get Kurt back in the ring.
I'm hoping it's not Stephanie, but then my gut instinct tells me it's going to be that.
Well, what do you think, Adam?
Well, that was my first thought, was Stephanie. But actually,
so if it was Stephanie, then why would she be texting?
Well, I couldn't figure that out. So I've actually, I think now it's more of a wrestler. And here's what I'm hoping is happening in my heart.
So go ahead, let me know.
I hope it's Bobby Roode. Something going on there, because Bobby Roode and Kurt Angle have a history together, right? You can build on that.
Right.
Bobby Roode found something. He comes up to Raw, and then we have Bobby Roode and Kurt Angle.
Okay, but you still have Bobby. So you'd have Bobby Roode as being the champion in NXT and have him called up to the main roster?
They've done it before.
No, they have. That's true.
So why not?
So in your heart, that's what you think is happening.
Yeah, I think that's
so
that's the best way to do it.
So is Bobby Roode directly text messaging Corey Graves?
No, it's more of something Corey Graves found that Bobby Roode. Maybe he posted something on Twitter. Or he found something. I don't know.
I feel like that's what I feel like it is. It's just like comments or something.
But if I remember right, Kurt Angle was reading something off his phone too. So it had to be an
email or a conference call or something like that.
Well, what about you, McGee? What do you think is going on?
Dude, I'm with everybody else. I have no idea.
I think this is going to lead to Kurt Angle getting back in the ring. Personally.
I hope, man. I hope.
With who? I don't know. I don't know who. I don't know how. Because this could be something where they try to drag this out for months.
Yeah, I hope.
Or
not.
This could be something they drop it next week and they act like it didn't happen.
But if they drag it out for months, then you could have somebody called up.
That's exactly.
Yeah,
I think the Shelton Benjamin idea is intriguing. That's probably the most interesting one that I've heard.
He can
because they have a ready-made history that WWE fans know about.
Yeah.
Well, Bobby Roode, you kind of got to establish who Bobby Roode is. I mean, if it works, and Angle does,
you got it.
You got it.
I like the role that Corey Graves is being put in these days as kind of like the liaison between the announce table and the wrestlers.
Exactly.
I agree, man.
I think he's stepping into that role well.
Really doing
so
that.
I like the angle they're going.
Because he's from their generation to a lot of these guys. So it feels
he
authentic.
speaks to the audience better, I think, too. So he has an insider's kind of perspective.
I agree. Well, unfortunately, we got to move on, guys, but I agree. So we're all interested in Mr. Graves. We'll see what happens with this and Kurt Angle, General Manager Angle. So moving on, we had Alexa Bliss, the champion, and the Bayley This Is Your Life segment about not being extreme enough and whatnot. So again, we can approach it from one of two ways, because I also saw Nia Jax tweeting on Twitter talking about how SmackDown has a match that involves the whole women's roster. So we'll approach this as a two-parter, okay? First of all, what did you think of the main program right now, being Alexa Bliss, Bayley, and This Is Your Life, this segment we saw, leading into Extreme Rules? And what do you think of how Raw is using their whole women's roster as a whole, which includes the mixed tag matches coming up this week? We'll start with the champ on this one.
I did not see Bayley losing her title last pay-per-view, and I really don't see why. I think Bayley, you say the chase is better for Bayley, but to me she's also a babyface, and she needs a championship because she's already chased. So I can't say that I'm excited for Kendo Stick on a pole match. I'm sorry. I just want to.
The gimmick doesn't excite me.
I can't say I'm excited. I mean, because legally, you're going to get a Kendo Stick that you like.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, traditionally in pro wrestling, the way they would do it is the person that gets the Kendo Stick first is the only one.
Yeah,
they're the only one.
But I mean, come on, man.
Somebody's gonna pull one from under the ring.
So I mean, even if I don't get it, I mean, I can't get disqualified for it. So
that's true too.
Again, it's just I wish they would have some better storylines first. So hopefully it'll come.
So what do you think of This Is Your Life this week? Not a fan?
this is probably the worst performance Alexa's given on mic. Personally, I think.
I guess it's just overlong.
But I think she
but I think
struggled
they
with the
They got
talent she
overly
had.
confident
Yes.
in
and
her
her
abilities,
ding,
and
and
they
they gave her too much. And then
too
she
soon.
tried, but again, you have to captivate.
A lot of moving pieces.
Yeah.
I don't think you can
With
blame
all
that
the
too much on
actions.
Alexa. Yeah, I think it's more
Yeah.
on everything else.
The
But
talent-
Alexa commits to that role like
And you're
so well.
you're stepping into big shoes when you're
Very.
trying to do the "This Is
Big
Your
shoes.
Life"
Yep.
segment. You know,
Huge.
there was no build or
Huge.
nothing to that.
Yeah,
It
it was
was
really
just
out of-
kind of like
random.
out of nowhere. They
Yeah.
were kind of paying homage and letting Alexa Bliss do her version because she's good on the mic. She is, but that segment, in my opinion, was boring and it lacked. It was cringeworthy. It made me feel bad
So
for
the flip
Alexa
side of that
Bliss.
then is, if you're on the Women's Raw roster and you see that and you're not on the show at all, how do you feel?
Ooh, little upset. Maybe probably it would be good to have a chip on my shoulder, but I mean that's the championship picture right now. You got to work hard to get back into it. So
Okay. So what about you, Mr. McGee? What do you think about what's going on right now?
you want to?
I'm not entertained with it. Like, I'm not looking for. I like Alexa Bliss, but yeah, this whole thing is just it's not going anywhere.
So this is your life didn't do it for you?
Yeah.
That wasn't the one?
I just want to say like this might be a good chance for us to see Alexa Bliss finally look weak and Bayley come. The only thing I pulled out of the "This Is Your Life" segment is that Bayley, hopefully at Extreme Rules, can come out looking tough because she doesn't look. Alexa Bliss looks like the tough person, and Bayley kind of looks like the soft hugs, babyface girl. Let's see the tougher side, the more extreme side of Bayley in Extreme Rules.
So then we'll do this.
Let's see her make Alexa Bliss scared.
So on that note, I want to go around and get everyone's pick for who's going to be the WWE Raw Women's Champion after Sunday, going into Monday Night Raw next week. Mr. Champ, yourself.
I guess I'm gonna have to say Alexa.
Stevie Boy,
Bayley.
Adam.
Bayley.
Bliss.
So we're split, right? We're split down the middle. So we'll see next week who's going to win the candlestick on a pole match. So the last thing we're going to talk about, and then this was all, I think, unanimous, if I'm not mistaken, a fan favorite going on right now has been the revival of Goldust that we've been seeing going on in this feud he's been having with R-Truth. So we'll let the champion start off. The man that has the big gold belt talking about the Mandrake Gold.
I just have one request. Please let him come out
Bring
and
the
flaunt his golden self on that pretty stage. Please. Because that's what's going to get it. You're already doing it already, so please just go full tilt with it. Because we all want him back. We all want Goldie back. We all want that golden one back. We all want him, so give him to us, please.
Church Hallelujah Tabernacle. What do you think, Adam?
Yeah, I'm behind it. I love the promos they've been cutting. They're both really good on the mic, and it's been a revival for Goldust. So I'm really digging it. Oh yeah, because it reminds you how good he really is. Because you kind of forgot. I kind of forgot.
Microphone wise, yeah, it makes you appreciate him more for sure.
Okay, Stevie Boy, so it's,
Oh,
go ahead and expand.
I'm
Wow,
excited.
pal.
I'm excited for him.
Go
I mean,
on.
he's aged
face that
as a
makes
performer, kayfabe
Go on.
wise, and wrestling wise in real world. So I like to see this older, wiser performer version of Goldust. I
Go on.
like the blonde wig, but I don't know. I don't think WWE wants to kind of tread on the homophobic type tropes a little bit, but it's always fun to see Goldust make somebody really uncomfortable, and I think that's what we all like. Is the weird bizarreness of the bizarre one, right?
Okay, well, what do you think then, Mr. McGee?
Goldie all the way.
You're a fan
And
of Goldie?
and I think these two, it'll make for a good match because they were once friends, and what makes
Friends better enemies.
Oh, I
Yeah,
mean, that-
I was just about to say that. What makes better match than friends?
I mean,
Good point.
even the mic work that Truth
Yeah,
gave
our
us
Truth.
afterward, I mean,
The
that was
opposite
that was
promo,
that was
I liked
a great,
it, yeah.
great segment for him, even that we haven't seen in a while. So hopefully, this is going to elevate both of them to
Yeah,
come
both
up out
of
that
them,
main card.
yeah.
Hopefully, it's going to help elevate them.
Okay, well then I have a quick question for you then. Okay, well in this Goldust discussion like this, what do you guys think is Goldust ceiling? This rejuvenated Goldust, possible Intercontinental Champion, WWE Champion, Universal Champion, possible Tag Champion. Does he find another partner? What do you think?
Starting with me,
Yeah, we'll start.
I'm gonna say I think he's a very, very credible Intercontinental Champion. If they go that route, and I even see him challenging for the Universal Championship. He might not win it. He might touch it, that glimmer of it, and get dragged back down. But I think a great mid-card talent, definitely a mid-card talent.
We're saying his ceiling just overall.
Yeah. What do you?
I could see him in a main event. I could see him challenging for the main title on SmackDown or Raw. I don't think he would win it, but I could see him in a main event picture.
We'll go with unanimous.
I also see him in the main event.
Okay, so
Turn the belts gold. All of them.
Well, so you can see him winning the Universal title.
Turn them gold.
I mean, so can we thank Jinder for this?
Yes, we can.
Okay, all right.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
And what with you, Stevie boy? Because you have a look of consternation.
I don't really think he necessarily is going to ever be in title contention at all for the rest of his career. It would be nice. I don't think he needs it. He has his own niche. He's gold dust. He stands out. He doesn't really need prestige of a belt. Just a really good worker, right?
Okay.
The guy on your roster that is good, that's always been good, that will, always be that good.
All right, well,
he's your workhorse.
With that being said, you guys, tune in this weekend. WWE Extreme Rules going down, the Raw exclusive pay-per-view. We will be doing a live stream reaction afterwards, so check us out at Champions Here show. And stick around to our show, because we will be back to talk about NXT TakeOver and the Blue Brand SmackDown Live and the chaos that's happening over there, right? Yeah. So, at Champions Here show?
At Champions Here show.
At Champions Here show.
The strongest brand in the land.
Well, actually, we're going to talk about NXT and 205 Live.
I don't mean to interrupt you, Kev, but I've got a great new idea. So just hear me out, okay? It's called At Champions Here Show Podcast, the strongest brand in the land. What do you think about it? I mean, is it over? Do you like it? I think it's a great idea.
So, please subscribe on YouTube at Champions Here Show. Like and follow on Twitter and Instagram at Champions Here Show.
The strongest brand in the land. At Champions Here Show.
And we're back to the Champions Here podcast. But before we get to the Blue Brand SmackDown Live, we're going to talk about NXT. More specifically, we're going to talk about the NXT TakeOver. I mean, right? Did we talk about that? You're right. Yeah, I don't think we did. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna talk about that. Get some reactions. We did a live reaction. I'm only questioning myself now because the face that makes mistakes kept questioning me off camera, so I wasn't sure.
Hey, gotta be sure.
But yeah, so I know we did the live reaction show, but we'll go ahead and we'll get everyone else involved because I don't know everyone was there for that. So the first match of the night, we had Roderick Strong go over Eric Young from Sanity. It was a decent match, pretty exciting. Good way to start the show off. It got the crowd hot. Chicago's usually a good crowd anyway. So we're gonna start with you, the champ. You're the champ over here, Mr. Sinclair. What'd you think?
It was good. Good way to start the show off. Roddy finally got the win. If I'm not mistaken,
his first big solo win.
Yeah, his first big solo win. So I mean, that's really, really big for him, in his career and that, with the fans. So it was a pretty good match.
Okay, so the flip side of that then is, what about Sanity? What do you think of Sanity? I know you're a Wyatt guy. Sanity, they kind of.
I'm not a Wyatt. I mean, I don't think that Sanity. I don't think Sanity's more the Wyatt, like the Wyatts up there. I think it's too. I think Sanity's not like the Wyatts to you personally. I mean, they're alright. I like.
Well, what about you, McGee?
Dane Killian.
What do you think of Roger Strong and the whole Sanity thing going on?
I like Eric Young. Don't understand Roger Strong yet, but that's only because
he's Roger Strong.
Well, I mean, y'all have known him.
He's the mechanic
from Ring of Honor. I just.
I know. I was being sarcastic. He ain't got no character yet.
Yeah, I just
even with those videos, even with the
I don't. To be honest, I don't think those videos helped him.
Roddy versus
the world. I thought it was Mari there for a second.
Yeah, someone said it looked like they're like cheap Mari videos.
So,
hey, fair enough.
What do you think then, Adam?
I like Roderick Strong and I really like Eric Young. I was a big fan of Eric Young when I was watching TNA.
Yeah,
was when Eric Young was doing Super Eric. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. It was really dumb, but I loved it. So seeing this side of Eric Young is really good, and I like Roderick Strong. I like some of his work in ROH, and seeing him in WWE is good.
Okay, well then the flip side of this, or the next match I should say, was probably the match of the weekend if you ask me. We had the champion Tyler Bate defending against the number one competitor Pete Dunne, the Bruiserweight. And after a thrilling match, a back and forth, an epic and instant classic, a match that literally had the crowd off their feet for like the last third of it, for most of it. We saw P. Dunne defeat Tyler Bate with one finish. With one time he hit his finishing move, the bitter end, the bitter end. And it was refreshing to see that's all it took, right? Instead of trading false finishes over and over again. It was nice to see that. So, what do you guys think? I think there was an instant classic, probably the match of the year so far. Even I put that above AJ Styles, John Cena from the Royal Rumble this year. What say ye? We'll start with you, Stevie Boy.
Ooh, it's definitely top 5 matches in WWE so far. I really liked it. Going back and rewatching it, I have no real complaints other than there's one spot that I think they got caught watching, and that's about it. It's when Dunn is on the mat and he has his leg lock around Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate starts doing like the twisty stuff, and then he does the headstand. They didn't really like interact that well. They kind of just watched each other, and then that was a dead spot in the match. But everything else was just like perfect.
What about you, Adam? What do you think?
I mean, I agree with you. It was an instant classic. It was probably WWE's best match they put on this year. I don't know about best match of the year just overall in all of wrestling because I haven't watched. Yeah, I can't say everything, but out of everything I've watched, best match of the year. Yeah, absolutely.
What about our champ, Mr.
Well, I enjoyed the match. I enjoyed it very much. It was a match of the night for me. It was. I thought it was gonna be match of the night. It delivered on all cylinders. Yeah. I think it's probably top 5 matches of this year. I can't say it's the match of the year. So I don't think it's the best match so far this year, but I think it's top 5 definitely.
Well, they definitely put, I think, the full-time NXT guys on notice that, we're not to be taken lightly.
We're not to be trifled with.
Exactly. They came from England and just put it
chance
for being as young as they are and not seeing.
Tyler Bates,
Tyler Bates 19, right?
Exactly, 20 years old. Yeah,
Pete Dunne's like 23.
Yeah.
Also a vegan, Pete Dunne.
Yes, another vegan. The second
Tyler
vegan on
Bate
the
is
show.
also.
That's funny.
I don't know about that. It's unsubstantiated. But go ahead. What do you think?
It was amazing, and I even chose their first match as match of the night. And I think this one blew that one out of the water.
Oh, by far.
They put their bodies on the line. They did everything.
And we were just discussing their age. For something to come of these two, and they're like the youngest.
I mean, they're still kids.
They're still kids.
It's that brass ring. They grabbed it.
But yeah, so this is definitely. I think we saw 2 stars born that night.
Agreed.
But moving on. Speaking of stars. In an unprecedented streak, Asuka continued her undefeated streak, winning the triple threat match against Ruby Riott and Nikki Cross by pinning both women. Now, I don't want to say the crowd was dead, but it might have just been coming after that classic match that they had to go after. That was
how do
before
you follow that?
Yeah. What do you think of the Asuka triple threat match and Asuka remaining undefeated? We'll start with you, our champion, Mr. Sinclair.
I love Asuka.
Our champ.
Being undefeated, I liked how dominant she won. I like they kept the title on her. I think that's the right move.
And the finish, having her pin both women.
I enjoy it because I think that's going to further. Honestly, that was a further Ruby Riott and Nikki Cross's feud.
Kind of like
yeah.
Oh, what do you think then, Mr. Demos?
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, I now that you bring that up, I feel like that's where they're going to go with that. And I feel like it was good too because Ember Moon's clearly going to be the one to take that title off of her, right? I mean, do we agree with that?
I hope not.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, like, and now Asuka didn't. I think I read somewhere her undefeated streak is now longer than Goldberg's undefeated streak. Like, so she has the longest recognized undefeated streak in WWE.
And
so
I mean, they're beginning to acknowledge it now. So is that a bad sign though? Because when WWE starts to acknowledge stuff,
that means they're about to lose it. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, what do you think, Stevie Boy? The match.
I liked it. That was actually the first match I saw. I didn't jump into TakeOver Live, so I didn't get to see Tyler Bate and Roderick Strong first. I actually jumped in, and the women's championship match was just starting. So I was,
So as someone that didn't see the
I was very satisfied with the Asuka, the 3-way women's title match.
And the finish?
Yeah, I was. I was expecting something, but I wasn't sure what was going to happen because that's what I was waiting for, was to see what happens. Ruby Riott, Nikki Cross, it's going to be both of them apparently.
Well, what do you
but I was satisfied.
I liked the match. Wasn't too sure about the finish, but other than that, yeah, it was good.
Okay. I also enjoyed the match. It just had the misfortune of going after the match it went after.
Yeah.
But the what everyone thought would be the main event of the evening, but we're trying to be the second to last match of the night, was the NXT champion, successfully defending his belt against Hideo Itami, the perpetual bridesmaid but never the bride. Right? I mean, it seems like every time the stars are about to line up, something happens. So, is this more about Hideo Itami or Bobby Roode? Because I kind of thought Hideo Itami was going to take this one, and Bobby Roode was going to go to the main roster. But what do you think, Stevie Boy?
I like to see. I thought it was more about Hideo, but I'm not sold on Bobby Roode at all. I think he's a little stale, a little bland.
Well, after the match, we saw that Hideo kind of did the thing where he lost his temper and was kind of knocking stuff around,
Yeah.
getting in people's faces and stuff. So, is this going to lead to a heel turn maybe for Hideo, and then he takes the belt?
I
or
think
what?
they're gonna turn Hideo heel. I think just to refresh his character and make him more, get him out there more. But I don't know. I want to see him with the belt, but I just don't ever see them crowning him like anytime soon. There's too many people.
So
that
what
they
about
could give
Bobby
it to.
Roode then? When does Bobby Roode get the call up?
Hopefully never, because
What do you think?
he's boring.
What
I
do you think
mean,
is
He
Hot
can't be.
Hot take.
He can't be any worse than Ty Dillinger, and Ty Dillinger got called up.
The perfect team.
Wow. Okay.
shots
I'm a
fired.
big
Ty
Ty
fan,
Dillinger
man.
could out wrestle Bobby Roode any day.
Okay,
of the
quick
week.
poll right now. Ty Dillinger or Bobby Roode? Who do you prefer?
Oh, Ty Dillinger.
Go ahead.
Oh man, I really like them both.
They're both.
I don't know.
If Bobby Roode would never
When I come
have
back around, have one.
Okay.
Go
If
ahead.
Bobby Roode would never have the glorious theme, nobody would care about Bobby
So
Roode.
who you pick?
So Ty
So we
Dillinger
have two for
all
Ty.
day.
What about you? Bobby
Glorious.
Roode? What about you?
I gotta go Ty.
That's
The only reason
it.
this
Glorious. The theme song. Glorious.
Yeah, but
10.
I
10,
had-
10.
Without
Ten
without
years.
us 10, though?
10 years in NXT.
You
though.
get little kids to do this, and you're
10
already
years
up
in
there.
NXT.
Okay, well then we got to wrap up this segment. The last thing we need to talk about was the ladder match that was in question. Some didn't even think it was going to happen due to Tommaso Ciampa's injury, which he
Yeah, I was
acknowledged
really.
after the fact. But I think the story of the night was not only did they have a pretty, all things considered, a pretty spectacular ladder match.
Dude, yeah.
Right? All things considered.
Yes.
We're debating the match might not even happen.
Yeah.
Right? And then they pull out that effort. But the reason why they put the match last, to tug at the ye old heartstrings, right?
Dude,
to,
and boy,
to,
did they tug.
to swerve everybody. They even put the little copyright symbol up there, and then the turn.
Yeah,
just
right.
Like, just like what they did with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. They did the whole little copyright thing. Kevin
NXT
Owens
logo
out
came up. Yeah.
Well, Tommaso Ciampa came, and he put, when I say he put a hurt,
Dude,
he
yeah.
put a hurt on Johnny Wrestling. I mean, you could tell they were friends because he was out there really putting that wood on him, right? Putting that leather on him. So, after that, he came out and he cut a promo a week later, basically explaining why he did it, and that he's going to be out for a while, but when he comes back, he'll be new and better than ever. So I want
Most
to get
dangerous man on NXT is what he said. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll start with you then, Mr. Dunnels.
Oh, okay.
What did you think of the match itself, the heel turn, however you want to approach it?
Well, honestly, when I saw
What's
the
going on with
yeah,
DIY?
Huh?
What's going on with DIY?
man, when I saw that heel turn, it honestly it got me, of course, and it made me think is that what WWE does best, breaking up teams? Because if you think about it, some of the best segments we've had have been breakups. Like when the Shield broke up, the Festival of Friendship, now DIY.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Well,
That's got to be what they do.
That
think
seems
it's
to be the
based on
trend
motion.
recently. Is
Yeah,
whenever
they
is
tug
when
at the
you're
heartstrings.
when you're at the peak of your popularity is when you need to tear them apart.
Well, because it always leaves you wanting more, which opens that door for a reunion.
It's kind of like the rock band that where the member breaks off and does his solo project, right when they're at their peak. But no, I agree. It broke my heart more than the Festival of Friendship.
I think
did.
we can all agree that this was probably the most shocking turn since probably the Shield, if not even more shocking than that.
Yeah.
But okay, well,
Yeah,
we're
I was
ready.
waiting for the Shield turn to happen.
So we're ready out of time.
I was waiting for this turn to happen, man.
So you're not even
I'm-
shocked.
Not me.
Nah.
You can't-
Okay, so you're the only one out of all of us that wasn't shocked. but-
Well, I'm not gonna say totally shocked because
No,
I mean,
no, you just he just
I mean,
ridiculed me for not being shocked.
no. I mean,
don't
I'm saying,
don't
I'm
let
saying,
like you now.
I'm saying,
I wasn't shocked.
because he's
I
done
was
it.
shocked
He's
when
done
they
it
did.
before,
Because
but
I
I'm
was
saying like I
expecting
didn't.
it in the ring.
Ciampa's done it before, but I'm saying like I didn't see it then.
They didn't get the job done. Something has to happen.
Okay, but we got unfortunately we got to wrap up and end this segment. But I'm gonna ask this then. So,
But Johnny
who has
jumped
the
in
higher-
front of Ciampa and saved him from
in
the
the
ladder.
match? Yeah, that's why I thought they were gonna.
Yeah.
Like every time
that happen eventually, it's not that night.
exactly every time they attack
But
his
okay,
leg.
we got to wrap it up, guys. So we're gonna end it on this note, and I think this is an interesting question. So now the DIY is split up and they're going to be their own thing then, right? Or they're going to be solo guys now. Who has the higher ceiling, not just in NXT and WWE? You can answer NXT if you want to, or you can project these guys on the main roster, but who are you taking? Ciampa or Johnny Wrestling?
Johnny.
Okay, we'll start with you then.
Johnny Wrestling.
Johnny Wrestling. What about you, Stevie Boy?
Oh man, that's so hard. I could go either way. My favorite of the duos
Best you to
though,
pick one.
is I'm gonna go with Johnny Gargano.
So we have two Johnny
So,
Wrestlings. What do you think over here?
Gargano.
I think Tommaso. I think Tommaso has the higher ceiling because he's a really good heel. And
I
we need
agree.
more of
That's
those.
the exact reason why I picked Ciampa myself. This is the heel factor. That's what sets him apart. Johnny Wrestling is a good wrestler. He's a good mechanic, but so far, he's only been a lovable babyface when he's getting beat up. He doesn't have natural charisma to me yet, but we'll see. He can prove me wrong. So that was our segment talking about NXT, wrapping up everything that happened at TakeOver Chicago. Join us next segment where we're going to dive into the Deep Blue brand SmackDown Live, right? At Champ is Here show.
At
Champ is Here show.
The strongest brand in the land.
The champ is here!
And we're back to the Champ is Here show podcast, and we're about to talk about the Blue brand SmackDown Live. And SmackDown, of course, is building to their big event that's coming up next, Money in the Bank. And the first thing I want to bring up, you guys, the first topic, the biggest topic, the history-making topic, I guess, of the show, of Money in the Bank, of that show so far, is WWE for the first time is having an all-woman Money in the Bank match. And this all came about because they had a fatal 5-way elimination number one contender match lined up that had Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Naomi, Carmella, and Tamina. And I was actually looking forward to it because I enjoy those kind of matches.
Mm-hmm.
But it broke
Well, no
down.
Naomi, it was Natalia.
Natalia, I'm sorry. Wrong end name. My bad. That's my fault. Naomi is, of course, the champion. Feel the glow. My apologies to the queen. But anyway, I usually look forward to those kind of matches. But this one broke down into a Donnybrook.
Yeah.
It got all physical, and it ended up with Shane coming out and saying, you know what? You got this much fight in you. Let's do something different. Female Money in the Bank, all women, for the first time ever. SmackDown Live. SmackDown gets something now first instead of Raw. What did you think? We'll start with the champion.
I was surprised, but it was a nice, puzzling surprise that they were going to pull the trigger on this. I think they have some nice women in there. I think that it's going to be. I think it's going to be a great match, and I think there's going to be a little tomfoolery in there. And I have my pick to win.
Okay. What do you think? First of all, just answer. What do you think of the idea of the match itself? We'll get to picks at the end. Okay.
I think it's a good idea. I think it's
About time, right?
that's what I was about to say. Yeah, it's about time.
So is
Because
this the right woman right roster of women to do it with?
it's hard. It's hard for me to say.
Because one could argue that. Why didn't they do this with Raw?
Yeah, and you almost feel Raw had a stronger women's roster last year, but
Well, Money in the Bank is a SmackDown pay-per-view.
No, it is, but it's
Oh,
also
why make a... Okay.
Yeah, it's all pre-booked. Like, they could have pre-booked it the other way
Yeah.
and had...
I think you just have a better name and group of women on SmackDown that can probably put together a better 5-way
So
match.
if you had a choice, SmackDown, Money in the Bank, women's ladder match versus Raw, you choose SmackDown?
Yeah.
If you had a
I think
choice.
Being a Raw fan?
Well, no, I think the SmackDown women's roster is better.
Knucklehead, what do you think, Mr. McGee?
I heard.
This story intrigues me, and I like it. The when they went into that 5-way, and it was just like
Pandemonium.
it was just
No pun
pandemonium off the
intended.
video, and then they just made it into that. Yeah,
you could
that was
feel
amazing.
it coming now. You could feel
That was
yeah.
amazing.
Well, what do you think? If you could choose Raw or SmackDown for the women's Money in the Bank match,
I would choose Raw
Really?
because you have Sasha,
Right.
you have.
Well, you have to keep in mind you have to keep your champion out the match.
Oh yeah, so I know Alexa can't be in it, but you have Sasha,
Right.
you have Mickie James to
Right.
add that veteran to it, and you have Nia Jax as a big powerhouse.
Right. That's
So just
true.
those three. I mean, those three. I feel like.
So-
you also have.
So
you
Nia
could also
Jax
have.
is big enough she can take 3 people's spots. Is that
No,
what you're
no,
saying?
no, no. I'm not saying that.
kinda
Two?
rude.
No.
Two? She could take 2?
It's wow. See,
No, I'm not saying that. No, I'm saying
so.
because you also have Emma,
Okay.
and you also
her-
have. Oh, she is. I didn't know she was
her
injured. Okay.
shoulder. Yeah, if you watch the
Okay.
show, you would know that.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
Ah.
Alicia Fox. What's up?
Alicia.
Whoa. Alicia Fox.
fuck. Shit.
well, let's get our champ. Champ, do you prefer
I was gonna say
Raw or
Dana Brooke.
SmackDown?
I'll probably say
For this Money in the Bank match, which one?
Oh,
would you
SmackDown.
You
Yeah.
prefer? Okay. Okay, well, cool. I agree. I think SmackDown was an interesting choice. Then this is a good group of women. You have a.
It's
Tamina
diverse.
X
It's
Factor.
diverse. That's why I like it so
Exactly.
much. That's so
Natty
diverse.
is the vet.
Yeah, I think everybody here brings their own set of skills that's going to make it
And everyone can
interesting.
conceivably win. I think I can see anyone win.
Becky Lynch.
Well, so here's the favorite part. Okay, so Stevie Boy jumped the gun like he always does.
I hate the face that makes mistake.
Right. So, who are you picking to win the first ever all-women Money in the Bank match?
I'm
history.
gonna Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch goes in the history books.
Yes, Becky
Why
Lynch.
Becky Lynch?
Because she deserves it. She
What does
works.
that mean?
She's my favorite. She's worked harder.
She's your favorite. So
She
deserves
has
it.
elevated Naomi and Charlotte. She took the L. She took the L
So by
for
taking the L,
Charlotte
she
and Naomi.
elevated.
No, but I think she is the best.
Addition by subtraction.
No,
So who
I,
do you pick?
I think she is the best worker, and she deserves it more than anybody else. Charlotte doesn't deserve it yet. She's been the champion too many
What about
times.
Tamina?
Tamina, she's
But
good as
tell him why
she's
Tamina-
good as a foil.
She's
but
the X Factor.
She's the X Factor. She's gonna mess something up. She's not going to win. She's gonna be the foil.
Tell him, McGee, why.
Becky Lynch is
She's
gonna.
Tamina.
She's gonna put her. She's
Becky
gonna put her
Lynch
foot
is
down.
gonna Bexplex somebody
They
through
had
a ladder.
Becky. They had Becky lose the little tag team thing.
Exactly.
You
So
could've-
she
you
can
could've
get
made-
more
you could've made-
babyface shine. So when she lifts that Money in the Bank briefcase, it's gonna be beautiful.
So you think
I don't think
I don't
Tamina
know.
stands a chance. No,
Tamina doesn't
Uh,
stand a chance. And
not-
that's your pick.
she,
Tamina?
Natalia and Tamina are on the lower
Okay,
end of
we'll
winning
We'll
it
get
for
over
me.
here on this side.
If we're doing
Who's
booking.
winning?
I'm actually with McGee here. I say Tamina. I think she's got the best chance.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think Becky's going to be up there. I think she's going to be up there. I think she'll have her hands on it.
I think
Tamina
she.
super kicks her off.
or
the top of the
somebody
line.
just
Go
like
ahead.
throws her off or something.
Our champ, who's going to be the number one contender for their champ?
The champ says it will be Carmella and James Ellsworth.
Oh,
I really
The
duh.
X Factor is James Chinny Chin Chin.
Well, we all know.
No
Becky,
chin,
we all
chin,
know what's
chin.
going to happen is Becky is putting him through a ladder. That's going to
That
happen.
would be
Then
interesting.
in that case, Carmella
So-
capitalizes.
We had history, so that's why it started off this segment. But we all know what a lot of us were excited about too. It was the return of the longest reigning WWE Tag Team Champions of all time.
I can't do it. Yeah, go ahead.
Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, Big E, The New Day. And they came out during a segment where the Usos were saying they pretty much already beaten everyone there is to beat on SmackDown Live, and they're pretty much the best there
I mean,
is.
they have.
So, okay, well, we'll start with you then, our champ, Mr. Sinclair. New Day comes out and announces that there's going to be a tag team match at Money in the Bank. New Day versus Usos.
Of course, they get a tag team try without being on the roster for two. You know, they ain't
They're
been
the
In the
there.
land of
longest tag team
opportunity.
champions of all time.
Almost wrong Raw. This is not. This is
Of
SmackDown.
all time. Of all time.
This is
They
SmackDown.
beat Demolition's record. of
Cool.
all
I
time.
don't see Demolition nowhere.
They beat the white people record. It
Cool.
counts.
Cool. I'm not worried about the white people record. I'm worried about
So,
SmackDown.
so what happens then with the Usos and the New Day? It sounds like you think the Usos are going to beat the New Day.
They won, baby.
Day one is H.
They won. They won.
Okay, well, what do you think over here, Mr. Dunnels? Are you a New Day or a Usos guy?
I love the Usos. They've been doing great work, but I think the New Day's got it. I think you have to put it on the New Day.
Why is that?
They've been off
Because-
TV for.
Yeah, but that's what the money feud
It's
is.
a refreshing though. They've been off TV just long enough to be like excited to get them back.
Yeah, and
So-
I'm not saying they
so
have
was
to
that-
win it at
Did
Money in
that
the
crowd
Bank.
Yeah.
pop like you're supposed to pop? Like, was
to be
I
fair,
mistaken?
I was gonna say
That crowd didn't pop.
Well, I was gonna ask if people were gonna remember the New Day and care with the same zeal that they had, the
Oh,
same lust.
100%.
But I also think watching that back on second examination, that Big E did have a microphone problem at first, so it didn't have the same. Like, you know, usually when he does the don't you dare be sour thing, the crowd pops pretty loud, but he kind of had technical difficulties.
I mean, seeing them on site, man, would make a crowd. I mean,
They got to pop though. Don't
Yeah.
you?
It wasn't-
We'll
it wasn't
come
theirs
over here.
big.
Let Stevie Boy get on this. What do you think, Stevie Boy?
Yes, I liked it. I popped for it. I'm glad. I want to see New Day. I don't know. I don't want to say that. I want to see the Usos keep the titles for a little while longer. I think New Day are going to be the ones to take it off of them.
So is this
But-
a 2-month feud then?
It's
Two,
going to be.
4
I think it's going to be a good one because
months? Goes to SummerSlam?
New Day are the only guys capable of bringing that humor to the Usos, and because Breezango had the humor, but the New Day has the humor towards the Usos.
Well, one of the Usos was trying not to laugh this week.
That make it
Dude.
basically the New Day is like, wow, you Usos, you guys take yourselves way too seriously, like
So
it's laughable
are we
almost.
not
So
gonna point
New
out
Day is the perfect like person to bat that
the
to combat
popularity
that.
that weighing down in the latter part of their run before Kofi got hurt. Well, we're not going.
But that's why it was a good thing that they're able to kind of like get away. And
Well, yeah, it's a new day,
What do
man.
you think-
It is a new day.
Let McGee get in here. What do you think, McGee?
I like this. I like both teams. I think their match will be good because the chemistry that they have.
Yep.
I agree with Art.
Because I think the last time they worked this program, the Usos were the good guys and the New Day were the bad guys. But go ahead.
The Usos will win the first, but the New Day is going to come back and get it.
Yeah.
So I mean, in the end, I think the New Day leaves with the belts, but I think it's going to be a build towards SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And the New Day are the only guys who can get away with making a rape joke on WWE TV and have people actually laugh at it.
And this
One of the hardcore Usos.
The Usos penitentiary, boy. We know what goes on in the penitentiary. We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
But
I want some.
Yeah. So
I like some.
right, so on that
Who's going
note,
to get some?
on that
A
note,
little lowbrow, but still they pull it off.
we're gonna move on to the main event scene on the Blue Brand SmackDown Live, and look at that, it's third on our show. The WWE champion Jinder Mahal, and they played a nice video package showing how much media coverage his championship.
Yes, it's been
win
all
has
over the
got,
place.
including his homeland
Yes,
of India and Canada.
Canada, Alberta, Canada.
Right, I mean, you got a lot of pub everywhere. WWE loves international publicity, trying to expand into another major media market, 1 billion people. WWE Network, think of all the possibilities, all the live shows. We've even seen other brands do well in India with pro wrestling. So why not WWE? Why not the number one brand? And we even saw Randy Orton come out and give his rebuttal. So we're gonna start with you, Stevie Boy. What do you think of Randy Orton, Jinder Mahal? What's going on with the SmackDown World Title scene?
You got to do something. Randy Orton just can't disappear out of the picture after he just lost the title. So you got to have Randy come back and rebuttal and retort
Well, if I'm
about
not
his
mistaken,
loss.
rematches at Money in the Bank, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so go ahead. I'm sorry.
And so I think Jinder's going to retain it. We're going to see maybe an actual one-on-one match this time with no interference from anybody. I would like,
So will it be
a legit one-on-one championship match. Let Jinder win properly and make him look good as well. I don't know if that's going to do it, but that's what I want to see. Overall, I want to see Jinder maintain the title. I could care less if Randy Orton has a title. He's Randy Orton. He doesn't do anything for me anymore. He's just there at this point. His theme song is all he's got, and the RKO.
Okay, so
But yeah, I'm on Team Jinder.
So what do you think, Mr. McGee?
Seeing how big Jinder's win did and was, I hope they don't give it back to Orton. It's like Stevie Boy said, like this one, he's going to have to do without the Singh brothers. So it's either he does it or Randy gets the belt back, and I hope Randy does not get the belt back.
Here's the most important thing to consider, right? The rematch is in Randy Orton's hometown.
So he's going to
So
lose?
he's going to lose. Exactly. Because faces always lose in their hometown.
Shout to Bailey.
Shout to Bailey, exactly. And Enzo and Cass always lose when
They
they're
would be crazy to also just take the belt off of Jinder right away when they have this
That's
giant
what-
opportunity to create so many new wrestling fans who may have known about wrestling, but now that,
They have a reason to watch.
exactly, now there is a reason to watch. Like WWE said, they're very happy with their social media numbers and media numbers just in general from the Jinder Mahal win. TV ratings, don't always reflect
Especially in this day and
yeah,
age.
they don't always
More
reflect
covers,
what type of
national audience.
reaction it
But
has.
it's the WWE.
What do you think, Mr. Sinclair? Our champion, from champion to champion. What do you think?
I hope Jinder retains, man. I don't see, and I don't see him doing by himself either. I mean, he had the belt with the Singh brothers. I think they'll still be a part of this.
Well, how
this
long?
run.
So how long? So if he doesn't lose a Randy this month, how long of a run do we see? SummerSlam?
Oh, man.
Until somebody cashes in the briefcase.
I'll be cool with that, but hopefully, to my personal opinion, after SummerSlam, I want him to. I want him to have a
That's
run.
an interesting question. We'll go around the room. Does he lose to a contender, or does someone cash in on him?
I'll probably say cash in.
Contender.
I say cash in.
I would say the cash-in briefcase.
I also think the cash in. I think it's
AJ Styles, possibly. If there anybody.
A cash-in victory like that, though, works so much better when it's a face champion and a heel casher.
But that's true. But we'll get to that. We're gonna end the segment on the Money in the Bank, so we'll get to see who you guys think is gonna win and everything. But before that, we gotta touch briefly on Rusev. More like, where is he? Where in the world is Rusev?
Rusev?
Rusev? Who?
No, I'm not.
He's not Rusev.
You like Rusev? I thought Rusev was kind of clever. But okay, so you're a Rusev fan, Mr. Sinclair. What's going on with Rusev right now? Is he just riding out to the Stanley Cup Finals?
Yeah, he hit me up. He said, it'll be it'll be a little bit. Unfortunately,
Comrade.
Our team has went down 0-2. He's been watching, so I'm sure after they got this hole, he'll be on SmackDown. Hopefully, trying to get that big gold belt. Hopefully.
So what about you? What do you think?
I mean, I think that's where the money is, right? Like if Jinder retains against Randy, you have a face Rusev and a heel Jinder. You have that built-in story from when they were a team,
Well,
and
makes
Jinder
Rusev a
attacked
face?
Rusev. He can come back and say, "You put me on the shelf. You took away months of my career. I'm going to take something away."
Well,
from
I think,
you."
and also
That he's
Jinder,
sympathetic that way.
Rusev is definitely probably more well liked than Jinder. A lot of people,
That's
people.
true. He's
So
more- he's more
I think
absolute.
People
that's
already
how
wanna-
it would.
People
And
already
Lana
want to
helps.
cheer him.
Yeah.
So okay, well, what do you think then?
I don't know. I would like to see him come back and be good because we haven't seen
Come
Rusev
back in general.
in a while. Yeah, just
Come
come
back.
back.
Just
Just
come
come back and wrestle a match.
Handsome. We'll call you Handsome Rusev. We'll call you Handsome Rusev.
Keep the bad Russian
Yeah.
propaganda stuff to a minimum, though. I
For now,
don't.
it's kind of a hot topic.
Well, that
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
Yeah, I was about to
cheap.
say.
It's cheap. So cheap
No
for
Jared
me.
Kushner, but go ahead. What do you think?
Just come back in general.
So we just want to see you back in the ring, Rusev. Come on back home. So on that note, the match that I thought Rusev was the shoo-in to win,
Big Bartholomew. We need to
this
see.
year's Money in the Bank ladder match. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's Baron Corbin, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn,
Mm-hmm.
Shinsuke Nakamura,
Mm-hmm.
AJ Styles,
And the Zig Man.
And the Zigzag Man. Oh, I forgot. He's here to show the world. But we'll start with you, man. The fashionable one out of all of us here.
It's too bad I'm too good.
Stevie Boy Smith. Yeah, go ahead, show him the bag too, right? But what do you think is going to happen?
Oh,
Because he doesn't feel like
I am
his sleeves.
so.
I heard the bones pop.
I am so. Excited for this match. Money in the Bank is always one of my favorite pay-per-views in general, just because it can go off. It can always be it can always be satisfying and exciting. You never know what's going to happen most of the time. So I don't know who I am all in for to win the briefcase.
We'll save that.
But I'm really excited because this group of guys in this match, I think it's going to be great. I mean, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens last year
Sami
in
Zayn's in his own.
the Money in the
Sami
Bank
Zayn,
match
Sami
destroyed
Zayn.
each other. I mean, we saw them just destroy each other's bodies. So it's going to be a great time to see high spots galore. So
High spots galore.
I hope
I think that should be the subtitle of this match.
It's gonna be a
Money in the
good-
Bank 2017.
Dive.
Dive.
Lil Scrappy's song playing over as the official theme.
Okay, well, we'll go ahead and go with Mr. McGee. What do you think of this year's Money in the Bank, the combatants? We'll save the picks to the end.
Intrigued. Not all the players, but I'm intrigued.
Okay.
Especially, I want to see what they do with the new Nakamura.
Okay, well, let's take this spin on it. I think this is a more interesting spin. Which match are you guys more intrigued in? This Money in the Bank with the men or the Raw Fatal 5-Way match to determine?
The Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank.
Money in the
Money in the
Bank.
Bank.
Money in the Bank for all y'all,
Yeah.
really?
Do you feel differently?
I don't, but I'm just a mark for ladder matches. So, I mean, I'm biased. You could have the worst. Well, I'd rather watch the worst ladder match than some other matches.
I want to see what they do with Baron Corbin, and I want to see what they do with Nakamura.
Yeah.
I think this is a chance for them to do that too, to realign. They're gonna pick a number one contender, and then they're gonna realign everyone else.
Yeah,
and
this
have
is a
them
good
kinda line
chance
up.
for guys who don't quite can't quite put on a great match by themselves. They're in the ring with other really great guys who are going to be able
And
to.
a lot of first
Yes, who are going to be able
Dolph
to.
is the only one that has prior experience.
Oh wow, that's I didn't think about that.
Sammy and,
You're right.
Sammy and Owens had.
They've had ladder
last
matches
year.
like a million times.
Were they?
They were in the.
Yes.
Remember, there was that big spot where
Yeah,
he
but-
suplexed them.
He
Yeah,
suplexed
exactly.
Kevin Owens.
Yeah, but every
and like
but
killed
every-
him.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, but every time Ziggler's like, I'm the only one to.
Well, I mean, the only one
Yeah.
that has won.
Yeah.
Well,
it's the only one.
Ziggler's got the veteran status right now. That's what that's the whole thing they're doing on SmackDown. Is Ziggler's the vet? You know, that's what they did against Nakamura.
So we'll do this now. We got to wrap it up, you guys. And before we wrap up the show, who is winning as of now? Who is your pick to win the Money in the Bank ladder match? We'll start with the champ.
As of right now, the winner will be Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin.
Sami Zayn.
I wish.
I've been saying Baron Corbin for months now, him or Rusev, so that's kind of who I think is going to win. But join us next segment, guys. We're going to go ahead and wrap up the show, and we're going to anything we missed, and we're also going to get to the match of the night too, you guys. So at Champ is Here Show.
Champions Here Show.
At Champions Here Show.
Strongest brand in the land.
The champ is here!
And we're back to the Champ is Here Show. And we're going to wrap it up, you guys. This is the last segment of the show. We're going to cover everything that we missed. And we're going to get to our Match of the Night segment. But before we get to all that, I do want to give a very special shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Corey and Pageant now. The newlywed couple. They just got married over the past week. And the reason why we didn't get to do a show last week, it was real crazy going on. They're out on their honeymoon right now doing their thing. And hopefully K-Pat will be back next week, right? He'll be able to join us.
Please be safe and have fun, man.
Right, they're out there in the Dominican Republic.
Oh, wow, okay.
Eating plantains and
Fun.
stuff, man. Like getting their passports.
Plantain Supernova.
Some good guacamole.
Well, the best guacamole I ever had was in Mexico. We won't get into all of that. Speaking
Oh,
of
I was really
passport,
intrigued.
if you ever want to see the story, we might need to film it one day because it's a long story. But anyway, so anything we missed, I know off camera you brought up the Drifter, Stevie Boy, so go ahead. Do you want to talk about the Drifter?
I mean, not really, other than I'm excited to finally see him on TV wrestling because they kind of teased him for so long. Like, what are they going to do with this guy? I like his gimmick and all of that.
What is
but
his gimmick?
He's
He
the
drifts.
yeah. He's Bob. He's like the mysterious rock star who comes in from the bar, who comes into the bar late at night and just starts playing. That's his gimmick, kind
So
of. Like.
he's the guy from Turn the Page, the Bob.
Basically, he's a Bob
Turn
Seger.
the
He's out of a Bob Seger song. That's how I envision him. I like it, but I mean,
There I go.
he doesn't connect. He hasn't connected to the audience at all yet.
I mean, he got you at least, man.
Well, I've been a fan of him since NXT, and I was excited that they brought him up. I didn't think he was as good of a worker, but I did like his character, and so I'm excited to see. I was excited to see how they did what they did on the Raw after WrestleMania, how he was cruising through the crowd, and they did all that. And now it's kind of like,
Or no.
They took
Yeah.
too long.
yeah,
Too
they
long
did.
to
I was
match.
waiting I feel like they pulled the trigger a month too late to see him wrestle, but maybe there was reasons for that. You know, maybe he wasn't
Okay, well,
up to snuff yet.
Well, something that you guys may be more excited to talk about. I know you brought it up too. On SmackDown Live, the newest episode of the Fashion Files.
Dum dum.
So I'll let you guys take over and talk about this. This is y'all's area of expertise.
I mean, it was another great episode.
Is it not the best thing on SmackDown Live right now? I think it is.
I agree.
So, you know.
No, it's not.
It is. It's quality.
I don't like the Fashion Police, but I do like watching the Fashion
Oh,
Files.
it's great.
It's getting better and better as it goes on. It makes you fans of them,
You
though.
can
isn't it?
tell these two. You can tell these two enjoy what they're doing. Like they're having fun with it.
I think that's the most important thing too. They took a gimmick that was really silly, and actually they're getting over.
They're kind of making
People
it now.
love it.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's what makes it. That's
We're
in my
making
opinion.
chicken
Makes it
salad. I will say that we're making chicken salad.
I
What do you
agree.
think over there, Mr. Sinclair?
I mean, I've been a Fandango fan from the jump, so I actually called the WrestleMania debut, so I called that match. But I'm not the biggest Fashion Police fan. I love their theme music. I can't let that probably the best. That's probably the best part. I can't lie, but I mean it's alright though. It's entertaining, so I mean I can't really be mad.
They can be cringeworthy and, you know, make me let out a groan or two sometimes because it is a little.
But
like,
no, they have made
but
the best of their situation.
it is-
though.
they have.
Not far,
best
like,
of the-
They have.
I don't
you
mind
know,
watching them on my screen.
like he was
Yeah,
saying,
so-
they were both two very underutilized guys you put them in a tag team, you can use both of them now, and now they both have an opportunity to show what they got, personality-wise and in the ring. Because that match they put against the Usos was great.
Do they ever win the tag titles?
I would hope to see them.
Yeah,
I
I
really
would
wanted to see them
think
beat
so.
the Usos.
I thought the
think they
Usos,
will.
like, after that loss, it was going to bring, like, the seriousness out in them. Or at least, like, the savage
It
work.
kind of did bring the seriousness out in them the next week when they both
got
won
the
their
wins,
singles
yeah.
matches.
Yeah.
And then
It was
I mean,
over
kind
real
of,
quick.
but yeah.
Okay, well, moving on. We also didn't cover one of Corian's, speaking of Corian, one of his favorites, Apollo Crews and the Titus brand, who, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Titus O'Neil cheat to win.
Yes.
Pulled the tights. He had the
I mean,
tights.
not,
did.
she's not trying. So I was told.
That makes me sad. Titus is such a stand-up guy.
But Apollo Crews looks like he's getting down with the get down, though. So are you guys intrigued with seeing, is this going to be a full-on heel turn
Yes.
for Apollo Crews? Are they going to do it in the vein of what Corian said, the arrogant, cocky heel? Like,
I hope so.
like the too easy.
That
kind
fits
of
him.
thing.
I hope
Sure,
so.
yeah.
And it looks like this direction they're going in. I kind of like that.
I think, yeah, you'll slowly build to that.
So what's Apollo Crews' ceiling? I think we've talked about this.
With this
Dude,
heel, with
yeah.
this heel turn, it's
Yeah.
Sky high.
broken. Like I mean,
Yeah.
the ceiling
Really?
is shattered.
I feel like he's like IC title champion at best.
I mean, even with because honestly,
because his charisma is still not
you
there.
Can, you can make Titus like a Slick.
Titus
I don't
is
know if you remember
good.
Slick from back in the day, but
Yeah,
well,
Teddy Long.
I think I've
No.
heard Steve Austin say this, and other people say this before. Does Titus work as a manager too, or is he too
yes,
big?
no, he does because he
That never plays a
because
role to me. Is the size?
He's I can see him interfering in a match and costing somebody a match. I mean, like I you see a woman do it, and we look at it like, oh, I can see. It's hard for me to picture a woman stopping the Big Show per se.
The thing with
but
yeah,
Titus O'Neil, oh yeah, he'll get his attention at least, and
yeah.
for that quick second, had the roll up.
You
and
can
it
never
makes a little
forget
more
about the
sense.
size of Titus, but the goofiness he has, takes away from that, and you forget about it sometimes. So I think that he's always
It's
been,
like
yeah,
switches
like
up.
you said, his size is always going to be a lingering thought in somebody's head. But because he's goofy, it makes him non-threatening at times.
So Adam, what is Apollo Crews' ceiling now? With
I,
this new heel turn?
I agree. It's broken. Like he can. I think he could be a top guy. I really do. Maybe not right now in the era of Lesnar, but I think he could be.
Okay, well, with that being said, is there anything else that you guys wanted to bring up that we missed?
Please debut soon, Lana.
Yeah,
I'm
We're waiting on that too.
I'm a fan. I'm ready to see what you're working with. So I'm
and we
ready.
have the mixed tag match coming up. Noam Dar, Alicia Fox.
Yes.
Going against. Go ahead.
I was going to say. Did you guys watch 205 Live?
I did.
Because
yeah,
I mean that. I felt like the Rich Swann and Noam Dar match did a good job of actually building that match, and the end segment of 205 Live, the tap heard around the world. I was not buying it at first, but man, Austin Aries is great on the mic.
Yeah, he's really
And-
won me over
and he-
with his commentary. I didn't like him at first, but him as the commentator, and then him working in the ring with the microphone has made me better.
I mean, he was just great. And then at the end when with the beatdown, when it was like kneel down, and they took out his knee, and he. I mean, it was great. If you guys haven't seen it,
Yeah.
that end segment of 205 Live
Yeah,
was probably one of my
good.
favorite parts of.
They
one
did
of
a
my
good
favorite
job
moments
of
this week.
making the tension, creating the tension there for sure. Because sometimes 205 Live, they try and it falls flat, but they did a good job.
One quick question, I guess. So we didn't talk about NXT really much, so we'll fit it in right here. We'll do it this way. Besides the champion, which one guy are you most interested in NXT? Or woman, guy or guy? Which one talent are you most interested in NXT right now? It could be Aleister Black, it could be Cassius Ohno, Roderick Strong, Sanity, however you want to answer it. We'll go ahead real quick.
Ooh, NXT?
Yeah,
That's a tough
we'll
question.
come back to you. What do you think, McGee?
Sanity.
Sanity, we'll go with you.
Cassius Ohno.
I have two of them. Unfortunately, I can't decide.
Well, that's why I said Sanity.
I'm gonna say Cien and Alistair.
Okay. What about you?
Johnny Gargano.
What about you?
You gonna
I'll give you another chance.
go
Come
on,
on.
go on, say it, bro. Go ahead, say it, bro. Say it, bro.
I'd say Ciampa and Aleister Black. Those are my two. So now we're gonna move on, and we're gonna do our traditional match of the night. We have our basket right here. Each one of us has a match already picked out in our head mentally, right, guys? So whoever the champ picks out, they get to
me?
pick
Oh.
the
What?
champion.
Hey, what? Sorry about that,
You
guys.
look all modest and humble right now.
I was not expecting that.
Neither was I.
The honor of being champ.
Which is one.
As I picked the match of the night.
Yes.
Who got it?
McGee.
McGee.
Good luck.
Moggy. I think you've been the most picked.
I need to get
All
a
right.
match these days.
In lieu of the last pick, my new pick is Takeover. P. Dunne versus
Number 2.
yeah.
Tyler Bate.
Yeah, this one, clarify what I said last time, just even, like, on a grander scale. Like, these two young cats, like, it's amazing.
Hard-hitting match.
And they're just starting.
Hard-hitting match.
They stole the show. Match
Yeah,
of
the
year.
atmosphere was great too.
So yeah, it definitely the crowd did not. They did not leave their feet for after the last third of the match. But okay, you guys check it out. Tyler Bate, P. Dunne, UK Championship, NXT Takeover Chicago. So yeah, anything else you guys want to fit in before we wrap it up? Take it home.
2012 Money in the Bank ladder match. Go back and watch it.
Okay, so on that note, I am Kevin Cartier alongside my compatriots.
Evan Gunnels.
The champion off the St. Club, baby.
Stevie Boy Smith.
Kaliko McGee.
So please like, subscribe, follow the show. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Snapchat, we're on YouTube. At Champ is Here Show. At Champ is Here Show.
At Champions.
At Champ is Here Show. I'm
The
just gonna keep
strongest
saying it.
brand in the land.
At
Strongest.
Champ is Here Show.
Strongest.
At Champ is Here Show.
At
Strongest.
Champ is Here Show.
Strongest.